The wind tore through the narrow alley, rattling the rusted shutters of forgotten shops. A woman's frantic whisper cut through the storm. "Just one warm meal for my daughter, please." Her voice was raw, trembling. The little girl beside her shivered violently, wrapping her tiny arms around her knees. Her feet were blue, stiff with cold, peeking out from worn shoes too small to offer any comfort. The mother knelt, brushing the frost from her child's hair, her eyes wild and desperate. From the shadows, a figure stepped forward. The woman froze, clutching her daughter closer. I'll do anything," she stammered. I'll be yours tonight, just please, something warm for her." The man's eyes, hidden under a hood, studied her for a long, silent beat. The air felt thick, almost frozen by the tension. A sharp gust of wind blew debris across the alley, startling the girl into a tiny cry. The mother tightened her grip, whispering, "It's okay, baby, we'll get warm." The man didn't move. His silence was a weight pressing against them. The mother's heart pounded like a drum, each beat echoing her fear. Yet beneath that fear there was something else, a stubborn glimmer of hope, a raw, unyielding determination that burned brighter than the bitter cold. Finally, the figure spoke, voice calm but carrying authority. "I can give you what you need, but there's a price, and it's not what you think." The mother blinked, confusion and fear twisting in her chest. I don't understand," I said. "I know what you said," the man interrupted gently, stepping closer, the hood falling back to reveal sharp human features, but eyes that seemed to see far more than they should. "But I'm not like the others. You're asking for warmth and food, but you're offering yourself out of desperation. That isn't necessary." The mother's breath hitched. Then why are you here? Why are you listening?" He knelt slowly, lowering himself to her child's level. "Because humans have something the galaxy has never truly seen, something worth saving, something worth understanding." The little girl sniffled, her blue lips trembling as she peeked at him. Her tiny voice was hoarse from cold. "Mom, it hurts." The mother's eyes filled with tears, guilt and fear and helplessness all mixed together. "I know, baby, I know." She tried to rub warmth into her daughter's hands, but it was useless. The frost had gone too deep. The man reached into the folds of his cloak, pulling out a small, glowing sphere. Its light was soft, warm, almost golden, and it filled the alley with a comforting heat. The little girl gasped, her tiny fingers reaching toward it instinctively. The mother's eyes widened in disbelief. This isn't possible," she whispered, her voice breaking. It's warm." The man smiled faintly, a glimmer of something human and yet something more. "Nothing is impossible when someone refuses to let despair win. You came here in the dead of night for your child. You risked everything. That courage deserves more than just survival." He placed the sphere carefully on the ground between them. The warmth spread, wrapping the girl in its glow, thawing her frozen fingers and toes. Slowly she giggled, the first sound of joy in hours, or perhaps days. The mother hugged her child tight, tears streaming freely. I can't, I don't know how to thank you." The man stood, his cloak swirling around him like shadows and light entwined. "You don't need to thank me, not yet. There's more ahead. But for now, survive the night, protect her. That's the beginning of something bigger." The mother clutched her daughter to her chest, shivering not from the cold, but from disbelief, fear, and an emerging hope she couldn't name. Somewhere deep inside, she felt it, the spark of something that might change everything. As the wind died down and the first hints of dawn crept through the alley, the man vanished into the shadows, leaving only the glowing sphere behind. The mother looked down at her child, warmth returning to her small body, and whispered, "We will make it. We have to." Little did she know the choice she had made tonight, to fight for her daughter, to endure, would echo far beyond this alley, reaching ears and hearts across worlds. Something had awakened, something had noticed, and humans had begun their story. The dawn was pale and hesitant, spreading weak light over the frost-covered alley. The mother held her daughter close, feeling the warmth of the glowing sphere fade slowly, but the lingering heat was enough to keep the child from freezing again. Her heart pounded, not just from relief, but from the terrifying thought of what might come next. They could be back," she whispered to herself, voice trembling. Someone will come." The girl nestled into her mother's chest, tiny fingers clinging to her coat. "Mom, did he really help us?" "Yes, baby," the mother replied, kissing her daughter's forehead. He saved us, but we need to keep moving, we can't stay here." And move they did. Step by step, they slipped through the crumbling city, past broken vehicles and shattered windows, past streets where no one dared walk. Every shadow seemed to watch, every distant noise made the mother flinch. She clutched her child, whispering stories of bravery, of heroes who faced impossible odds, anything to keep her daughter's hope alive. Hours passed. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, but she ignored it. Cold bit at her fingers and toes, but she endured. Every sense screamed that danger lurked nearby, but something in her mind whispered louder, "Humans survive, humans endure." It was in that whisper that the first sign appeared. A low hum, soft but steady, came from the sky. The mother froze. The girl stirred, sensing her mother's fear. From between the ruined buildings, a sleek ship descended, its metallic surface catching the pale light. Its design was alien, graceful, dangerous, unmistakably not of Earth. The mother's instinct screamed at her to hide, but before she could move, a figure appeared at the ship's ramp. Tall, elegant, and cold in posture, the being looked human enough to confuse the eye, but the glowing, violet eyes betrayed its otherworldly origin. "Humans," the alien said, voice smooth and cold, yet carrying a weight that made the mother's heart pound. "You should not be here." The mother stepped in front of her daughter, chest rising and falling with fierce determination. "We survive," she said, voice steady despite the fear. We will not be taken." The alien tilted its head, intrigued. "Survive? You are weak. Frost bites your daughter's feet. Hunger gnaws at your belly. You are nothing compared to what you face." The mother's lips pressed into a thin line. "Weak, maybe, but humans endure, and I will fight with every breath I have to protect my child." The alien blinked, an expression of something resembling surprise flickering across its face. "Protect? Interesting. That is unusual. Most creatures yield when fear strikes. Most humans, no, all humans, yield." The mother's hand tightened around her daughter's coat. "Not us, never us." A tension settled in the air. The alien's violet eyes scanned her, seeming to measure, to weigh, to decide. Then, unexpectedly, it stepped back, gesturing toward the ship. "Come, I will offer you food and warmth, but be warned, this comes with observation. Every human action will be noted." The mother hesitated, suspicion gnawing at her. "Observation? What do you mean?" The alien's voice softened, almost curious. "I mean that humans are fascinating. You fight even when hopeless. You endure even when weak. You care for your children above all else, even when it costs your life. You are unlike any species I have studied." Her daughter tugged at her coat, her small voice hesitant. "Mom, can we go?" The mother knelt, meeting her child's wide eyes. "Yes, baby, we go, but stay close, always close." And so they followed the alien onto the ship. Warmth immediately surrounded them, melting the last traces of frost from her daughter's tiny toes. Food appeared, simple but nourishing, and the little girl ate with a hunger that made the mother's heart ache. As they ate, the mother noticed the alien watching, not in judgment but with curiosity. And in that gaze, she felt something strange. Hope. Not the fragile hope of the desperate, but the quiet, unwavering hope of someone who might believe in her kind. For the first time since the bitter night began, she whispered to herself, maybe humans aren't as small as they think." Somewhere deep within the alien's mind, a seed was planted, a realization that humans, fragile and frail as they seemed, carried a power unlike any weapon or fleet in the galaxy. A power that could change worlds. And as the mother held her daughter, feeling warmth seep into their bones, she knew one thing with certainty: survival was just the beginning. The ship hummed quietly as it cut through the sky, a smooth, endless motion that made the mother clutch her daughter instinctively. The little girl rested her head on her mother's shoulder, eyes wide but no longer shivering. Warmth wrapped around them, but it could not chase away the anxiety pressing against her chest. The alien, tall, elegant, violet-eyed, led them down a corridor lined with strange panels that glowed softly. "You will remain here," it said, voice calm but carrying weight. "Eat, rest, recover. Tomorrow you will be observed." The mother nodded, unsure whether to be relieved or terrified. Observed for what? The alien did not answer. Instead, it turned and left, the sound of its footsteps fading into silence. Alone now, the mother looked at her daughter, brushing her hair back gently. "We'll be okay, baby, we'll be okay." Night, or what counted as night on the ship, came. The mother could not sleep. Something deep within her stirred, a warning, a pull she could not name. She peered out of the window at the endless darkness of space and whispered, "Humans survive, humans endure, humans rise." Words she had said 1,000 times in her mind now felt like a chant, a mantra. The next morning, a panel in the wall slid open. The alien returned, flanked by 2 others. "The test begins," it announced. The mother stiffened, her hand gripping her daughter's tightly. The little girl hid behind her, eyes wide. The aliens led them into a chamber filled with strange devices and holographic displays. One of the aliens gestured toward a large screen showing simulations, scenes of cities crumbling, starvation, and storms. "You will face challenges," the alien said. "Not just survival, we need to understand humans. We will observe how you react under pressure. The smallest action will reveal the depth of your species." The mother's stomach twisted. "Challenges?" she asked cautiously. "Yes, you will need to make choices, choices that may seem impossible, choices that may put your own life at risk." Her heart pounded, but a fire ignited inside her. "Impossible. I've faced impossible before," she said, voice steady. "And I did it for my daughter. I will do it again." The aliens exchanged glances, subtle but sharp. It was clear they had not expected such resolve. The first simulation began. The holographic city burned, flames licking at buildings and people fleeing in panic. Hunger and despair filled the scene. The mother instinctively pulled her daughter close. "Stay with me, baby. Stay alive, always alive." A holographic figure, a child similar in age to her own, appeared, crying out for help. "Mom, help me." The mother's pulse quickened. Every fiber of her being screamed, "Protect, survive, endure." She stepped forward, reaching into the virtual chaos, guiding the holographic child to safety. The little girl mirrored her mother's action instinctively, a small hand reaching out to the projection. The aliens watched silently. Their violet eyes scanned every movement, nodding every instinct, every decision. They had seen countless species, countless attempts at survival, but this, the raw, unyielding drive of a human, was something new. The simulation shifted. Now the mother had to choose between saving her daughter or rescuing dozens of holographic people trapped in a collapsing building. Every second stretched like an eternity. Fear threatened to choke her, but she felt a calm certainty. "I will survive. I will protect. I will endure." She grabbed her daughter, shielding her with her body. Then, with careful coordination, she found a way to lead the other holographic people to safety too. Her heart raced, sweat beading her forehead, but she refused to panic. She was human. Humans adapted. Humans fought when the odds were against them. When the simulation ended, the aliens were silent for a long moment. Then the tallest one spoke, voice almost reverent. "Remarkable. Humans, your species is unpredictable. You do not yield. You protect what matters, even when the cost is immense. That is power. That is worth observing." The mother exhaled shakily, wrapping her daughter close. The little girl's eyes were filled with awe. "Mom, you did it," she whispered. "I did what we must," the mother replied. "Always, that's what humans do." Unseen by them, the aliens exchanged subtle nods. Something had changed. Humans were fragile, yes, but within that fragility burned a strength no technology, no strategy, no alien could ignore. And as the mother held her daughter, she did not yet know it, but her resilience had planted the first seed of something extraordinary. Something that would echo far beyond the cold corridors of this alien ship. Humans endure, humans rise, humans survive. The days aboard the alien ship passed in a haze of unease and careful observation. Food was provided, warm and nourishing, but every meal felt like a test. Every glance from the violetide alien felt like it could read their thoughts. The mother, clutching her daughter, felt a strange mixture of gratitude and fear. "This is too easy," she whispered one evening as her daughter slept, exhaustion softening her voice. Nothing comes free in this world, nothing comes without a price. Her own words frightened her. Could she survive what was coming? Could she protect her child from beings who seemed to measure life with an indifferent scale? The next morning, the aliens summoned them to a chamber far larger than the one before. Light reflected off walls of unknown metal, bouncing in every direction. The mother held her daughter's hand tightly as they entered. At the center of the chamber, a large platform glowed faintly. Projected above it was a holographic representation of their own city, the city they had escaped. Smoke rose from its streets. Fires licked at buildings. People ran, screamed, cried. "You must choose," the tallest alien intoned. "One path saves many but endangers your child. The other protects your child, but many will perish. Decide." The mother froze, her chest tightening so sharply it felt as though she could not breathe. Her daughter clutched at her coat, sensing the tension. "Mom, what do we do?" Her mind raced. Panic wanted to take over, but she forced it aside. Humans survive, humans endure, humans protect. Tears blurred her vision. We find another way," she whispered fiercely. "We protect her and them, there must be a way." The alien's violet eyes narrowed slightly, intrigued. "No human has ever attempted both. All previous subjects chose one or the other. Your species may be remarkable." The mother scanned the hologram, looking for any opportunity. Flames blocked some streets, debris blocked others. Desperation clawed at her. And then she saw it, a narrow path almost invisible through alleys and broken buildings. Risky, dangerous, nearly impossible, but possible. "Hold my hand, baby," she said, gripping her daughter tightly. "We're going to save them all." The platform shifted, and suddenly they were no longer observing, they were inside the simulation. Heat pressed against her face, smoke stung her eyes, and cries of panic filled the air. Her daughter clung to her, trembling but trusting. Step by careful step, she guided them through the streets, ducking under falling beams and leaping over rubble. Her daughter's small hands followed her instructions perfectly, moving where she told her to move, holding on to the human instinct to survive. They reached the first trapped family. With ingenuity born of fear and love, the mother devised a way to lift debris, using leverage from the environment itself. People began to escape, following her lead. Flames and smoke threatened to engulf them, but she refused to falter. Every choice carried risk. Every movement could cost her daughter's life. But still, she pushed forward. Humans were not designed to be perfect, they were designed to endure. And endurance, she realized, was more powerful than any weapon. Finally, as the last group was freed, the simulated fires began to close in around them. She scooped her daughter into her arms, sprinting toward the final exit. Her lungs burned. Her body screamed for rest. Yet she did not slow. One human life mattered more than her own fatigue, more than the smoke and heat. It mattered above all else. The simulation ended abruptly. The chamber fell silent. The aliens studied them, their expressions unreadable. Finally, the tallest spoke, voice quieter than before, almost reverent. "Impossible, yet you have succeeded. You protected your child and many others. No species has ever done what you have done. Humans, your species is." He paused, searching for the words, as if reality itself had trouble nomming what he witnessed. "Extraordinary." The mother collapsed, holding her daughter close. Tears streamed down her face, exhaustion and relief mingling in a raw, unrestrained wave. We did it, baby. We survived. We endured." Her daughter hugged her tightly. "Mom, we really did it." The alien studied them, silent for a long time. Then, turning away, it gestured to the corridor. "Rest. You will need strength. There is more to observe. But know this, the human species is different. Your courage, your ingenuity, your love, it is unlike anything we have." The mother clutched her daughter even, warmth flowing between them. She realized in that quiet moment that survival was no longer just about her daughter or herself. It was about proving the true measure of humanity to an entire galaxy. Somewhere far beyond their world, the alien observers recorded every detail. The data would travel, whispered through systems and fleets, revealing what no one had truly believed. Humans were fragile yet unbreakable, weak yet astonishingly strong. And in the heart of the mother, amidst exhaustion and fear, a spark ignited, a spark that would carry far beyond this ship. Humans endure, humans rise, humans survive, and they would not be ignored. The calm on the ship was deceptive. After the last simulation, the mother and daughter had been given a small, quiet room to rest, but the mother could feel the tension coiling like a living thing around them. The aliens' gaze lingered, unseen but palpable, and she knew that their observation had only begun. Her daughter slept soundly, her small body finally free of cold, hunger, and fear. But the mother's mind raced. Each moment of rest carried a warning. Danger always came, and humans had to be ready. She whispered softly, stroking her daughter's hair. "We survive, baby, we endure. Humans always endure," she murmured. Before the dawn, the sound of the ship's alarms shattered the silence. Red lights flooded the room. The mother bolted upright, grabbing her daughter. "Stay close, don't let go." The corridor outside was bathed in crimson light. Aliens moved with swift, precise motions, but these were different. These weren't observers, they were enforcers. The mother's heart pounded. Someone or something was attacking the ship. She ran, holding her daughter as they navigated the corridors, guided only by instinct. Sparks flew from damaged panels, and the hum of engines grew uneven, threatening to fail. Somewhere ahead, a deafening explosion shook the deck, throwing her to her knees. Her daughter cried out, and she clutched her tightly. "We can't stop, baby. Keep moving," she shouted over the chaos. The alien who had first saved them appeared, blocking their path. His violet eyes were filled with tension now, not curiosity. "This way, quick." He led them to a chamber filled with strange devices, some of them glowing with energy she could feel deep in her chest. "You must trust me," he said. "This is dangerous, but you may be the only hope." "What hope?" she demanded. "Tell me." "Your species has a way of surviving that no algorithm predicts. We cannot control it. If the ship falls, the entire observation ends. But if you act, if you endure, you may save not only yourselves but many others." The mother hesitated for a heartbeat, weighing the impossible odds. Then she tightened her grip on her daughter and whispered more to herself than anyone else. "We survive, we endure. Humans always survive." The alien handed her a strange device, pulsing with blue energy. "Use this. You will know when the moment comes. Trust instinct, trust humanity." As they reached the main deck, the source of the attack became clear. Dark ships, unlike any she had seen, tore at the hull with relentless precision. Explosions threw debris into the corridor, smoke and fire filling the air. She held her daughter above the chaos, pressing forward. A massive hole opened in the hull, and cold vacuum began to seep in. The mother's heart hammered. "Hold on!" she screamed, her voice almost lost in the roaring winds. Her instincts guided her to the device, and she pressed a button. A protective shield formed around them, shimmering with blue light, pushing back the cold and debris. The alien's eyes widened. Incredible human instinct, it adapts. But the danger was not over. The mother realized the attackers were trying to cut off escape routes, to trap them. Sweat poured down her face as she calculated quickly, moving through collapsing corridors, ducking falling panels, and timing jumps with split-second precision. Her daughter's small hands clutched hers tightly. "Mom, I'm scared," she whispered. "I know, baby," the mother replied, pressing a kiss to her forehead. "But fear doesn't win. Humans endure. We rise even in the darkest moments. We survive." As they neared the escape deck, the mother spotted the last obstacle, a massive energy barrier, flickering and unstable. Without hesitation, she placed the device on the ground and activated it. Blue light surged, melting through the barrier, creating a path. They ran, every step fueled by instinct, desperation, and love. Finally, they emerged into a smaller shuttle, the alien guiding them inside. The engines roared to life as the mother strapped her daughter in, hands trembling but unwavering. The shuttle shot away from the damaged ship just as the hull behind them erupted in fire and explosions. The mother held her daughter close, tears streaming freely, as they drifted into the void of space. Exhaustion threatened to consume her, but she felt something stronger: pride, hope, and an unshakable belief in what humans could do. "They said we couldn't," she whispered softly. But we did. Humans survive, humans endure, humans rise. And somewhere far beyond the reaches of stars, alien observers recorded every moment, their calculations failing, their predictions shattered. One thing was clear. Humans were dangerous, not because of weapons, but because of their unbreakable will. The mother hugged her daughter, whispering, "And we're just getting started." The small shuttle drifted silently through the void of space, a fragile bubble against an endless dark. The mother clutched her daughter tightly, the warmth of her child's small body a lifeline against the terror they had just escaped. Every fiber of her being screamed that they were still in danger. Humans survived, yes, but survival required constant vigilance. Her daughter leaned against her, exhausted but curious. "Mom, will they come again?" "They might, baby, but we'll face it together," the mother whispered. She pressed a kiss to her daughter's forehead. "Remember, humans endure, humans rise, humans survive, and so will we." The alien who had helped them appeared in the cockpit, his violet eyes reflecting the pale glow of distant stars. "You have done what no other species could," he said softly. "But there is a final trial, one that will determine if humans can truly rise beyond instinct and fear." The mother straightened, heart pounding. "Final trial? Tell me what we need to do." The alien gestured to a console, projecting an entire map of the galaxy, glowing with countless points of light. "Your species has never encountered anything like this. You must navigate, survive, and make choices that will impact more than just yourselves. One wrong move, and extinction is certain." Her mind raced. The stakes were beyond comprehension, yet instinct told her what to do: protect, endure, adapt. "We can do this. We must do this for our world, for her." She held her daughter's hand, feeling the small fingers squeeze back. "And we'll survive." The alien nodded, a hint of awe in his expression. "Good. Humans rise even when logic says otherwise. This may be what sets you apart." The shuttle jumped into faster-than-light travel, stars streaking past like silver threads. Soon, they encountered the first obstacle, a field of deadly debris from a destroyed planet. Huge fragments of rock and metal spun in chaotic patterns, impossible to predict. The mother's heart leapt into her throat. "We can't go around it. Too many will be lost," she exclaimed. "We have to go through." Her daughter's eyes widened. "Mom, it's scary." "Yes, baby," the mother admitted, voice steady despite fear. "But humans survive, we endure, hold tight." Every decision became a test of courage and intuition. She adjusted the shuttle's course by instinct, calculating angles and timing with human intuition that no alien machine could replicate. Rock fragments grazed the hull, sparks flying. Alarms screamed. But she pushed forward, her focus unwavering. Humans adapted. Humans improvised. Then the galaxy itself seemed to respond. Strange, shifting anomalies appeared, energies no one could have predicted. Some ships would have panicked. Some species would have frozen, paralyzed by the unknown. Not humans. The mother guided the shuttle with precision, moving her daughter safely through the chaos. She used instinct, reasoning, and a fierce love that gave her clarity beyond calculation. Each obstacle they overcame, each near miss, only reinforced the truth she had learned long ago. Humans endure because they refuse to surrender. After hours, or perhaps days, time became meaningless. They emerged from the chaos. The stars stretched calmly before them. The mother breathed, sweat and tears mingling. She held her daughter close. "We did it, baby. We survived the impossible." The alien observers studied them in silence. For the first time, the tallest one spoke with emotion unmasked. "I have never seen a species respond like this. Fear does not stop you. Hunger does not stop you. Danger, even infinite danger, does not stop you. Humans are extraordinary." The mother smiled, exhausted but proud. She looked at her daughter, who was glowing with awe and trust. "It's not magic, baby," she said softly. "It's us. Our hearts, our courage, our humanity. That's what makes us strong." For the first time since the bitter night when her daughter's feet had turned blue from the cold, the mother felt true hope. They had survived against forces beyond understanding, survived against beings and events that would have destroyed any other species. Humans endured because they loved, because they adapted, because they refused to give up. The aliens whispered among themselves, recording every heartbeat, every instinct, every decision. The mother and daughter had proven something no one had believed possible. Humanity could face impossible odds and emerge unbroken. The mother held her daughter close and whispered, almost to herself, almost as a promise to the universe, "We are human, and nothing can stop us." And far beyond the reaches of the galaxy, the aliens began to understand something profound. Humans were fragile, yes, but within that fragility burned a light that could not be extinguished. A force that no weapon, no storm, no alien technology could ever fully contain. Humans endured, humans rose, humans survived. And now the galaxy knew. The shuttle drifted into calm space, the chaos of battle and the endless tests finally behind them, or so it seemed. The mother held her daughter tightly, watching her small chest rise and fall with the steady rhythm of sleep. She had survived the impossible, endured trials no other human had faced, and protected her child against forces that could have destroyed entire worlds. Yet in the quiet of the shuttle, a new understanding settled in her heart. Survival was no longer enough. Humans had shown their value not through weapons or technology, but through something far more powerful: courage, love, and unwavering determination. The alien who had guided them stepped into the cabin. His violet eyes, once indifferent, now held a respect that was almost tangible. "You have completed what I believed impossible. You have proven that humans are extraordinary." The mother tightened her grip on her daughter. "We did what we had to do. We survived, we endured, we rose. That's what humans do." The alien nodded slowly. "And in doing so, you have altered my understanding, and perhaps the understanding of my entire species. We have watched countless civilizations. None demonstrate the capacity for endurance, ingenuity, and compassion like yours. You are exceptional." Her daughter stirred, opening sleepy eyes. "Mom, they said we're special." "Yes, baby," the mother whispered, brushing her hair back. "You and all humans, we are special because we never give up, because we fight when others would surrender, because we love when others would abandon hope." The alien watched them, quiet for a moment, as if struggling to comprehend the force that had carried them through the impossible. "You have shown something rare, a spark. Not just survival, but the will to rise above every obstacle. That is what defines a species. Humans, you have it in abundance." The mother smiled softly, a mixture of pride and exhaustion. For the first time in weeks, she allowed herself to feel safe, even for a moment. Her daughter nestled into her arms, warmth flowing through both of them. The alien extended a hand, a gesture of both respect and understanding. "We will record your actions, your choices. Others will learn. Others will see that humans are not to be underestimated. You have changed the perception of an entire galaxy." The mother's eyes widened. "Changed the galaxy?" "Yes," the alien replied. "Through courage, through resilience, through love. You have proven that a species cannot be measured by size, technology, or strength alone. Humans are more than that. You endure, you rise, you survive. That alone makes you formidable." Her daughter looked up at her with wide eyes. "Mom, did we really do it?" "Yes, baby," she said, holding her close. "We did it, and this is only the beginning. Humans always rise, always endure, and always survive, no matter how impossible the odds." The alien stepped back, giving them space. "Go now, return to your world, live, teach, protect. Humanity has potential. We have seen it, and we will not forget it. You are the first to show us what it truly means to be human." The mother watched the stars drift past the window, the infinite black and silver of space stretching into eternity. She held her daughter tightly and whispered, almost to herself, "We survived the impossible, we endured the unbearable, and we rose always. Humans rise." As the shuttle plotted a course back to their planet, the mother allowed herself a rare moment of hope. Not just for survival, not just for tomorrow, but for the future. Her child's laughter, her small hand clutching hers, was the proof of everything she had fought for. Humanity's strength was not in machines, nor weapons, nor dominance. It was in hearts that refused to break, in minds that refused to surrender, and in the courage to love even in the darkest night. Far across the stars, alien observers recorded every detail, their calculations failing to predict the boundless spirit of humans. One truth became undeniable. Fragile as they seemed, humans carried within them a force that could challenge the universe itself. The mother kissed her daughter's forehead, warmth and relief flooding her. "We did it, baby. We survived. We endured. We rose. And someday the galaxy will know what humans are capable of." Her daughter smiled in sleep, small and innocent, yet somehow radiant with the promise of tomorrow. And in that quiet moment, the mother knew it. Humans endure, humans rise, humans survive. Always. The universe had witnessed humanity's dawn, and nothing would ever be the same.